Hello, Santa Rosa Christian Church and family. It's Pastor Steve. I had my heart for a long time to bring you a personal greeting, a video greeting, since I can't be there in person, and this is that time. So I'm really, really grateful. That's going to be my overarching theme and what I want to express to you. But I'm so grateful for your love and your support and your care of me. I really want to start there. The amount of prayers that I know are going up for me, the concern, the love and support, the notes that have been given, the cards that have been shared, people calling, what can I do, has really provided a sense of support and encouragement and strength to my body and my heart and my soul and my spirit during this time. So, thank you. Thank you. I miss you. And I love you. And of course, I'm praying like you that ultimately I'm getting on the other side of this and I'm going to be with you in person. And we're going to be able to share in communion and fellowship together in the way that our hearts long to really do. On just a personal update level regarding me, last week I finished my 4th round of chemo. And hey, look at me, I'm up. I feel the best I've felt out of all the rounds of chemo this week, because this is when it should be hitting me the hardest. When you get chemo 5 days in a row, then it's usually like a week later, your body starts really feeling the effects of that. And mine has at times. And each time it's kind of lessened. So the Lord's given me increasing grace to receive the chemo that they've been giving me. I think most of you are aware through Caring Bridge and other situations Glenn shared last Sunday, it's always a blessing to be remembered and thought of and prayed for that way, that the whole goal is to get my cancer that's in my bones down below 5% so that I'll be a candidate for a bone marrow transplant. And so far, I haven't gotten worse, which was a concern of the doctors, but I haven't gotten better. So most likely I'll be getting more intense chemo this next round, which will be beginning of November, and do that for a couple months. And they're hoping that will really get me to where I need to go. And working with Stanford now has been incredible. They're so on top of it. They're so caring. These guys that are brilliant MDs, PhDs, and overseers of clinical trials and world renown have been caring for me in conversation with me and setting up a course of treatment that I feel really confident about, that their part and my part with them in the hospital is going to be well done, which is awesome. I mean, obviously I want it to be well done. And the reality of what that looks like, if it hasn't been shared with you, that if perhaps by the end of this year, my cancer's in check and it's where it needs to be, then I will go to Stanford whenever that happens, have a bone marrow transplant, and I'll end up spending close to 4 months down there at Stanford, which is a really long time. But if it's more than worth it, if I can get on the other side of this, they really need to watch me closely to make sure that the transplant, the graft that they give me, settles in and goes through all the details. Only a month of that or so will be in the hospital, but then I have to be either at an Airbnb or someplace nearby. They have other housing, so I'm within 15 minutes to regularly go in. So that's a big part of the prayer request, besides getting my cancer to where it needs to be, but just covering that part. But I got to get there first. So that's really all I want to share about my update. But overall, I'm feeling okay. Because of COVID, I know you're feeling locked down. And then it's heightened or compounded for me because I'm neutropenic, which you probably heard that term, where I have no white blood cells because of the leukemic condition that I'm in, which if I get sick, they said that I got nothing to fight it off with. So I need to be especially careful in the way that I expose myself around people, which is pretty much not. You feel locked down? Trust me, I feel like I'm in my little bubble here at home. But even though that's true, I know that I'm in fellowship with you. And then ultimately, I'm in fellowship with the Lord. And again, the word being grateful. I'm just grateful after my 3 weeks or so in the hospital. I just prayed, Lord, I just want to come home. And the Lord granted that prayer, and to be with family and to see my grandkids and be with my wife, be with Maggie, and then be likewise in fellowship with you and watch the live streams and be able to meet with the eldership and with really just the communion of the saints. I've been able to do that like you've been able to do that. And that's been incredible. I'm so grateful that the Lord's extended my life and given me these times. And I'm so grateful for the intimacy that the Lord's taking me through. Who would have thought that after 43 years of pastoral ministry, that my last year would be like this. I mean, 2020 going into it, I thought was going to be way different. I know you did too, but here it is. And besides COVID and having to do live streams and not being able to meet, to have this cancer of the bone was a complete, another curveball for us and another blow to be able to take me and just put me before the Lord. And I want to say that that's a reality, is that the goodness of the Lord and the presence of God in times of hardship. And I know each one of you have faced it in a variety of ways. And I wish I could have fellowshiped with you in it in deeper ways as you fellowship with it in me. But the fellowship of the Lord in these difficult times is real and it's profound and deep. My ability to be in conversation with him, to be in his word, to be able to be meditating on the truths that I've taught and now made real in a new way has been so powerful. And I'm not living in fear. I'm living, as Barney preached, what was it, last week, in a living hope that he's got me. I'm in his hand, as you are also. So whatever may come that way, I'm praying for healing. I'm praying for strength. But whatever it is, I know I'm right where I need to be. I'm in the hand of the Lord, and that's the only place to be. And so I feel strong of spirit, incredibly hopeful, and again, incredibly grateful. And let me state that I'm not just grateful for how the Lord's manifested himself and showed up for me, and I know he will continue, but I know how he's showing up for you and for the church. So grateful for the church staff and that the Lord sovereignly brought in Noah 2 years ago when he did. I have complete confidence in who he is and what the eldership is doing and how they're bringing oversight with Matt coming on. What a blessing. You know how long I've prayed for that? We've prayed for that for many years. And the fact that it's happening right now in these days of difficulty is no accident, because our God is going to bring a release in the months to come. And we're going to be ready for that release. In the meantime, we're kind of wandering in the wilderness until we get to the place where we're free to do the things that he wants us to do. But at the same time, we need to be faithful in the way that we're walking as a church family and community. And the leadership that God's provided for us and the framework that we have is still significant. And it's faithful and it's effectual. So I want to encourage you to likewise believe for that and to stand as community. Don't drift away. Don't use this as an excuse, whether it be your own personal hardships, the difficulty it is to be in community at Santa Rosa Christian Church. There's ways to make that happen, whether it be in small groups or just with another family, let alone watching the live stream. And again, the pastoral staff's there to help you as you need. So I'm grateful for who they are and who you are and how God's making us to be as a church family. My journey this year's been strange and very weird, but also very wonderful. And so again, I want to say that I'm grateful for you and your love and care for me and this place that God has me in his hand. I'll continue to lean into him and continue to lean into your prayers. And until I can be with you and see you and hug your neck, know I love you and I miss you and I long for that day. Thanks.